All right, mark this date down, November the 28th. I'll tell you more about it later, but go ahead and mark it down, write it down, November 28th. You won't want to miss what we'll be doing that night. All right, it should come as no surprise that President Biden's approval rating continues to flounder amid all the self-inflicted crises that have been plaguing the Biden administration. But a poll released by NBC News over the weekend marks a new low for the president. According to the poll, 71% of Americans say they believe the country is headed in the wrong direction. That's up 8 points since August. And if you think that survey may be a fluke, well, my next guest will tell you otherwise. He's been tracking it. Joining me now is Jim Lee. He's president and CEO and founder of Susquehanna Polling and Research, which conducted a similar survey last month. Jim, welcome to the program.
Happy to be with you, Tony.
Did that number surprise you, 71% saying America is headed in the wrong direction?
Well, it really doesn't. That number tracks very closely with Biden's approval rating. And as his approval rating has gone down, the percentage of Americans who say the country's going on the wrong path has gone up. So there's a strong correlation between the two.
I mean, I guess I was surprised not at how high the number was, but the fact that NBC News actually released the poll. I mean, this is legacy media that helped put this administration in place. But in this poll, when you look at the crosstabs, 93% of Republicans say the nation's headed on the wrong track, 70% of independents, and 48% of Democrats. Man, this administration's in trouble.
Yeah, and I think what's astounding about the wrong track number is it almost matches two all-time highs that I've tracked historically. The high watermark for the wrong track was October 2008, a month before President Obama became president. And what was significant about that year is we had just experienced a major collapse of the financial industry in September, a month before that poll came out, when the market dropped by 777 points. So the numbers that we see in the current polling are getting exceedingly high and dangerously close to the all-time high wrong track, which is not good news for this incumbent president. Any way you cut it, he is not in a good place right now. We see a lot of factors converging around that high wrong track right now. Dissatisfaction with the job he's doing internationally, concern about rising gas prices and inflation, handling of the pullout from Afghanistan. All these factors are contributing to a president that now has an approval rating nationwide, Tony, of 43%. That puts him on track to be basically where Truman was after his first term in office at 45%.
So when you look at these over time, Jim, when you look at Americans saying we're on the wrong track, how intertwined is that with the economy?
Very closely intertwined, Tony. Wrong track voters are, by their very nature, dissatisfied with the status quo. And when we look at them as a crosstab, we find they're more likely to vote for the party out of power, and very, very sympathetic to the message from an opposing political party, which of course is the Republican message right now, which is, if you're happy with the direction of the economy, by all means, vote for Terry McAuliffe in tomorrow's Virginia governor's race, vote for Murphy in New Jersey, stay with the party in power. But that's not what we're seeing. These wrong track voters are ripe for the picking for the Republican Party, and very much in tune with making a change.
What the Democrats have to hope is that the voters don't have to fill up their car on the way to the polling station, because, I mean, gas prices have nearly doubled since this administration has come in. That's hitting the bottom line. We're seeing the inflated cost. We're seeing the issue of inflation in general. Commodities are going up. I mean, we're seeing all of these things. And these things, from what I've heard from economists, these aren't going to be corrected overnight. So what impact is this going to have on the 2022 midterm elections?
Well, probably a pretty profound impact because there's very low GDP growth. We just saw the third quarter numbers come out. They were abysmally low, below every projection that was estimated by top-rated economists. There's certainly a case to be made that Biden could turn things around, but it looks like the die is cast. He has become an unpopular messenger for his own message. And I think that regardless of what happens with his Build Back America plan and his infrastructure plan, he is now toxic. Even new polling that's come out this week shows a plurality of Democrats, Tony, a plurality of Democrats in the country say they'd rather take their chances with a new nominee for president in 2024. That is absolutely
That's
terrifying
bad.
if you're
Yeah,
President Biden.
absolutely, especially just 9 months into to a term. Jim Lee, we're out of time. Very quickly, one last question for you. Could these numbers go higher of discontent?
You know, if the COVID pandemic does not continue to see numbers that are abating, if fourth quarter GDP continues to underperform, they certainly can go higher. This president seems to be in denial, and his message certainly needs a major correction.
Jim Lee, great to talk with you. Thanks so much for joining us. Look forward to visiting again soon.